What's up, y'all? If you're new here to my channel, my name is Jennifer Lee. I am a neurolinguistic practitioner and life coach. I combine the spirituality practices with neurolinguistic programming to help people understand their mind and brain to develop a stronger and growing mindset. In today's video, I'm super excited to talk about the 5 major brain hacks that you can use to learn faster and more efficiently. So, thank y'all so much for being here. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And let's get started. Know your learning styles. Find out which of your 5 senses allows you to process information easier and more efficiently into your brain. We all process information very differently, and some of us learn better than others, but not because we're smarter or better, but it's because we know which learning style works for us. For an example, I am a visual and kinesthetic. I'm a hands-on person, so I learn better when I can see or feel things. So in school, I sucked at English and reading. I hated listening to lectures and boring presentations, but I would always do great in math and science where I could see graphs or see problems being worked out on the whiteboard, and I can learn better when everything is shown out to me. And I always did better in creative projects and anything where I could create things or see things compared to listening. And that's where your senses come in handy. So you're gonna learn which of these learning style fits you based off of seeing things, hearing things, smelling things, touching or feeling things, and tasting things. Visual people. You learn better when you can see things happen in front of you, like watching a movie, seeing a presentation, anything with graphics, photos, or pictures, and just any visual representation to learn or retain information easier. Auditory people. People who love to listen to music, who can hear things easier. You like to hear people talk. You learn better when you can hear and just hear words, conversations, or maybe you prefer listening to audiobooks over reading books. That is your kind of style. Everything is better when you can just hear things instead of anything else. Kinesthetics. All my people who love to be hands-on. Yes, all my kinesthetic people, you can learn better when you can feel, when you can touch things. You have to do things that involve your hands. So this is really great for people who love to do DIY projects or woodshop projects or just art projects, anything where you have your hands doing the work. Maybe you enjoy gardening, and the only way you can learn how to garden is by having your hands in the dirt and planting things compared to watching a video or hearing about gardening. So those are for my people who are kinesthetics. You love to touch and feel things to learn. Olfactory. These are for all of my people who love to smell things. And I know you're probably wondering, well, who can learn better off of smelling things? Well, this is really great for people who work in candle factories, candle making, perfume, cologne. Maybe you have a really good sense of a smell, like, dogs that are used for sniffing out crimes and drugs. They use their smell as a really huge learning style to smell and pick up things. So smell comes really handy for those who work in a field where you do have to involve your nose a lot. Gustatory. Gustatory people are people who can learn based off their mouth and taste things. This is great for people who work in culinary or wants to become chef. Maybe you want to be a food tester, or you just have a really good sense of taste. Maybe when you taste food, you can tell if it's really good, what's in the food. It's really good for people who can point out allergies, maybe. Either or, gustatory are great for people who involve their learning style based off of their mouth. And then last but not least, this is more of a sixth sense. It's called auditory digital. This is for people who are really good at learning things based off of procedures, rules, and structures, or self-talk. This is great for people who work in tech and a lot of database related information. In order for you to process information, you have to follow a type of structure or rules or patterns that you create in your head. Maybe for you, you have to go through a certain step of patterns in order to really retain that information, or you do a lot of self-talking. So for example, if you were learning off a teacher, maybe instead of learning off of the way she teaches, you actually imagine yourself as a teacher talking to yourself, talking to other people, and that's the easiest way for you to learn. So those are the main learning style. Comment below, let me know which learning style fits you, and you can have more than one, by the way. Maybe there's just one that you're really, really into. Like I said, for me, I'm a visual and kinesthetic person. I prefer to see and feel things in order to learn, but my auditory is still there. I can still listen to things. It's just the other two are more enhanced. Statistics shows in general that the overall population, 65% of them are visual learners, 30% are auditory learners, and 5% are kinesthetic learner. Olfactory, gustatory, and auditory digital are more complementary learning styles, so you can use those learning styles to add and enhance your other learning styles. Again, you can have more than one learning style. You don't need to stick to one, but maybe there's one that you're really, really good at, so try to figure out which one works for you and use that to your advantage. So how can we use learning styles to enhance us in our everyday life? Well, this is really great to know, especially if you're in business or working in a sort of field. And a great example I like to use are people who work in restaurants. If you're a restaurant owner and you're trying to get out a dish to the public, maybe you want to really make a sale of this dish because it's your favorite dish in the world and you want people to taste it, buy it, and keep coming back for it, then take a look at your menu and try to put a visual representation, a visual picture of that specialty dish on your menu. How many of y'all are most likely to order food that you can see what it looks like compared to reading the description off the menu? I personally love to see pictures on menu. It gives me an idea of what I want to order, because if that dish looks good, best be now I shall order it. Number 2, break things down into key points or bulletin points. How many of y'all try to cram so much information in before studying for a test or taking an exam? The easiest way to learn or retain information is really breaking huge information into smaller doses or key points. So, for example, let's say you need to learn how to cook a lasagna for dinner, right? You know those recipe books, they never show you how to do something in essay or story form or paragraph form. They always break things down into key points or ingredient lists and step-by-step process. That's exactly how you should do with all the information you're learning or notes that you're taking down. You want to do things step by step and take down key bulletin points that are the most important to you. So when you're reading a book or when you're going through a textbook or notes, try to list down the key points that are most important to you that you can remember and retain. That way it will be easier to learn all that information without overloading your brain system. Number 3, speed it up or skim through. This is actually one of my favorite learning style, and it's basically learning everything times 1 speed up or 1.5 speed up. When you're at the library, in order to figure out which book you're going to rent out or which book you want to pick out, you're not going to sit there and read the whole book, right? You're not going to sit there and read chapters. You actually go through the chapters and you're just skimming through the pages. You're skimming to see how it sounds, just figuring out if there's any key points that are interesting to you and just seeing what you can get out of this book to help you make that decision of whether to rent it or buy it. Another great example is when you're watching YouTube videos or when you're learning off of online videos. Maybe you have some online school and you want to skip all the boring parts, or you just want to really go through the information faster. I actually like to put a lot of the videos that I learn on YouTube, I actually put it on 1.5 or 1.25 to speed it up. Sometimes I'll even skip through the intros and closing if they're already repetitive or boring, and I just make sure I speed it up to get that information. This way, you are learning a lot faster, you're understanding what information is going through, and you're not having to sit there and listen to someone talk or, say all these unnecessary things. Or, when you go through filler episodes on Netflix, you could actually skip those filler episodes by just speeding it through. That way you'll know what's going on at a faster pace. This does enhance your learning experience, just making it faster for you to learn. Number 4. Boost your memory by attaching powerful emotions to it. Our long-term memory works great because it remembers memories that are the most emotional experiences for us. For example, what was your first traveling experience like? If you had an amazing travel experience, maybe you were to tell me a story, you can remember every single detail of that story. Maybe you had a romantic encounter, maybe the food gave you a wonderful sensation, or you just had the best time of your life looking at this beautiful, grand view of nature, and you can remember that travel experience so well. That's how long-term memory works. Your long-term memories can also be affected by emotions you don't like as well. For example, let's say your first time traveling wasn't so fun. Maybe you got robbed, or you kept getting lost. Maybe you kept running to bad people who just gave off so much bad energy. Maybe you had a lot of bug bites from Asia and you're like, I can't wait to go home. So that experience can make you really not want to travel again. And that's because the emotion attached to those memories weren't so fun. Remember, your long-term memory really works well when there's an emotion attached to it. So when you're learning something, maybe try to make an experience out of it. And last but not least, number 5 of the major brain hacks is take breaks and enjoy the learning process. We are so living in a world where we want to just learn everything, consume everything, and we get burnout, we get stressed out. Our brains are so overloaded with so many distractions and information, and we just don't know how to give our brain a break. But honestly, the best thing that you can do for your brain is take breaks while you learn. Maybe it's better to learn in segments like 20 minutes, 45 minutes. Maybe you're someone, I need to just do things for 30 minutes and then I'll take a 5-minute walk outside. Or maybe I will just do some really deep work for 3 hours and then I'll take an hour lunch break and then come back and then do my work. So just figure out where you can take breaks in between your learning and try not to overexhaust your brain because it can really be a lot to do. It should be a fun process for you. I know when people think of studying in school, they think it's boring, they think it's not fun to do, but find information that are interesting to you. Find things that are interesting to you or make it really interesting. Why do you think children at such a young age, they get to have all the fun stuff to learn? They get to play with colors and crayons and markers and do all these fun projects and eat glue. That's because that stuff is really fun for them. So just try to figure out how you can make your learning process fun, knowing what your learning style is. Okay, y'all, and those were the 5 major brain hacks. Again, number 1, know your learning style. Is it visual? Are you an auditory person, kinesthetic, olfactory, gustatory, or auditory digital? Number 2, break things down into key points. Number 3, speed it up or skim through it. Number 4, boost your memory with a powerful emotion attached to it. And number 5, take breaks and enjoy the process. Have fun with your learning style experience. Those are the 5 major brain hacks. Again, if you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. I will be making more fun videos about the brain and how to develop a stronger mindset. So please feel free to let me know your thoughts, give me some feedbacks, and I will catch y'all in the next one. Have a blessed day.